A couple people in here. We'll turn this behemoth. Stay right there. You blow on me, it's hot. Does have some pretty ass figure in it. Some crazy looking grain, especially right over here. I hope I can keep a lot of that. Do a little bit of work to get it concentric, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, what the hell, we'll get to turning. It was unannounced anyways. Alright, for any of you guys that might be watching here later. My buddy, another local turner here, he's getting surgery. And he gave me all kinds of lumber. This is a massive piece of a walnut crotch that was already slabbed up kind of thinner. And I'm going to make this into a shallow bowl or a platter. I don't know if we're going to be able to save a whole lot of this void here, this natural split where the trees are. If we can, that'll be cool. If not, it's no big deal. But she's still kind of wobbly at the moment. I'm going to shore her up and then fight with it for a few minutes to get her exactly rounded. And then we're going to turn it into the convex bottom with a wide foot. Put our mortise in it. And you don't have a YouTube channel, he's got a Facebook. If you guys get a chance, check out Jeff Yamanaka at Middle of the Mountain Woodworks. Hell of a dude. He's the one that hooked me up with all this wood. I'm going to check my tendons, make sure everything's tight the way the good Lord intended it. And then we're going to get to hollowing this out just a little bit, not hollowing out but rounding her off. That's good. That's good. Okay. Birth control helmet, check. Cool thing about this is, starting to rain, and I've really been trying to get this wood for the past couple of days, so me and my wife went in her Kia, and for the second time in the past 90 days, we drove through a literal tornado to get stuff for the shop. What's up, Hannah Quick? So, we're going to turn this thing. It's going to wobble a little bit first. Got to get it concentric, and then we're going to start the shaping process. I'm going to start off with my bowl gouge, see if I can do some push cuts down the side of it, trying to maybe lighten the load a little bit, you know. That is fairly sharp. She does wobble. I'll have to stop intermittently and check the headstock and the mounting brackets and all that, but I guess there's nothing to her but to do her. Oh, above the button. got some people in the chat now. SRS Woodworking, what's up, brother? Or SR Woodwork, I'm sorry. Well, damn, walnut crotch, yeah. I was telling you guys whenever I first started this up, got another local turner out here. He's an older dude. He already had hand surgery. I actually met him when I very first started woodworking at all, even before the YouTube and all that stuff. Dude's name's Jeff Yamanaka. And solid ass dude, also a veteran. He's he don't have a YouTube or anything like that. He does have a Facebook page, Middle of the Mountain Woodworks. Go check the dude out. Like, I don't know. Well, I mean, I know how he sells his bowls and everything at the price that he does, but he does some true artwork. He called me the other day, told me to come pick up the wood, man. Like, he's gonna have surgery and he just wants it to come back to a fresh start in the shop, pretty much. And dude hooked me up with big crotch walnut. I could probably get 2-3 more bowls out of this crotch alone if I cut it right. Giant slab of cherry, probably 4 or 5 inches thick, 2 foot by 1 foot. Giant chunk of spalted maple. Giant chunk of 2 more giant chunks of cherry and another 2 or 3 chunks of walnut. Told me to come back with my truck and get the rest of it. So because of Jeff, there's going to be a lot of big bowl content in the future. I understand, man. Oh, no problem. But, yeah, this is a very beautifully figured piece of walnut. Everything's already dried, spaced out with spacers in his shop and everything like that. I got to do a little bit of shop tour on him, check out his big badass Powermatic he's got. Jeff's a solid dude. I'm going to hit my flute here a little bit with some of this Scotch-Brite. I'm getting a little bit of resistance at the very tip there. It's not because of that. It's not because of the burr. It's just the simple fact that I had a little bit of buildup from my shine juice in there. What's up, Shoops? Billy Shoops in here. Billy Shoop just got a hell of a score not too long ago, but that's pretty common for Billy. They're going live tonight, so make sure you're all there. Let's get back into this. We do have to make sure our head unit is still tight. Just one of the things with this lathe with the option of the swivel head. You got to keep track of that. I'm going to intermittently be checking the tension on my worm screw and my tailstock as well. Looks like the safety meeting was well heard. I don't know. What's up, Moyak? How's it going, brother? Doing good, man. I'm doing good. turn a giant walnut crotch, you know what I mean? Can't really knock it. Any day turning's a good day, you reckon? Alright, now I'm going to start shaping and rounding this bottom off a little bit. Do some pull cuts across the front of it, just to try to, like I said, make it concentric. We'll come back here, we'll hit the back side to square it up, and then we'll have a literal blank. So let's get in at that. What's up, Kevin Ellis? How's it going, brother? Ooh, she a wobbly. Getting a little bit out of concentric here. There we go. Keep her up where she's not rubbing against my banjo, because that's what we heard there. Much as I hate to admit it, I'm going to have to take this one slow. Real slow, like. Yep, shoots will be going live at 8 Central, 9 o'clock our time here on the Eastern Seaboard. So back of this is still kind of crazy. This up here, we're starting to grab a little bit. I've still got this little bit of a void right here, and this damn it void over here, which is kind of throwing it off a little bit. The more of those I get taken out, the better off balance-wise it's going to be. You know, it's crazy when you first pick up a bowl, or a blank, I'm sorry, like you pick up a slab and you're like, dude, this thing's like 3 foot wide by like 2 or 3 inches thick. It'll make a nice plate. It's not really deep enough for a bowl. And then you get it reduced down to the size and you're like, holy hell, that's a big bowl. It's not even a plate anymore. Just throwing it out there. Hit this fresh edge. We're moving a lot of wood here right now. If you guys haven't yet, please check out the other channels, all that cool stuff. Please like and subscribe if you're not. It helps me out tremendously. Getting ready to break. We're about 115, I think, 120 subs away from 7,500. And I'm just trying to make it to 10K. Of course, that's the next goal. After that, I mean, we're moving on, but I like turning for people, and I like the audience and everything we have in here. So we're gonna do that. Hey, Mike, just figuring out life situations. You know, all good. How are you? I don't know if I'll be at 10K by Halloween, but that'd be phenomenal. All right, we're gonna come back in from right here and start rounding off a little bit more. Damn, the figure of that is absolutely beautiful on camera, especially with the contrasting and colors. Hope I'm able to keep a bunch of that. So, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe, all that cool stuff. Consider becoming a member. I believe as of the other day when I checked, we had like 340 members or 350 members. Completely astounded by that number. A lot of those are from people that bought into the memberships for the raffles and stuff like that. But still, that's a astronomical amount of members for a channel. And please check out the other channels too, dude. Like you got Michael Wilson in here, board, handcraft. You got Moyak Scorpion, who's completely revamping his channel. You got the Shoops Wood Shop doing some crazy stuff. They got more lathes than most damn department stores. You got Jeff from 2 Minute Tips for Wood Turners, David Ardito from the Great White North, even though I haven't seen him in a grip. Ryan from 77 Rockets. My mentor Jeff, I'm pretty sure I mentioned him. If I haven't, if I did, he deserves another one. But check it out, man. Good community of people. That to hog off some wood where we're a little bit flatter now on the back. We're not 100% flat, but we're way flatter than we were, which means I can get the tool rest a little bit closer to where my overhang isn't as bad. Make sure that is in fact rubbing my tool rest. So we don't want that. That's a bunch of bullshit. Hang that there. Make sure that's not touching. That's not touching. Give her the old spinneroonie. Got a little bit of a dip there. Want to make sure this outside edge is on an even keel. That'll also help with weight reduction. Good. little bit more concentric. Too monstrous in 2 days. Yeah, man, I'm working on it. I'm trying to better myself, so I figure I need to test myself to every limit I can, I reckon, you know. If I can get it, I'm going to do her. Make sure that's not rubbing anywhere weird. Come in from this side. What's up, Sean Love? What's up, Anexa? I can't pronounce your last name. I hope not, Mr. Wilson. What are you hoping not for, honey? Oh, the wobble. Nah, it's anchored in pretty good. She only wobbles at extremely slow speeds and really high speeds. I think I'm not gonna say anything and jinx myself, obviously, but we're doing all right. And this thing is pretty. Look at the grain in that thing. And then the split over here where it's still got a little bit of the sapwood. Mwah. Chef's kiss. So my wife, the total hottie that she is, been trying to go out here and get this stuff for a few days now. We decided we'd go get it today. It's the second time in like 90 days that we've had to drive through some cataclysmic weather event just in order to get stuff for the shop. One being the lathe because the pansy ass delivery drivers wouldn't deliver down here, and then two, we went and got this here wood because she's a straight up G. Alright, so I still can't get my banjo underneath this, and I don't actually want to, because that means I'll have to reduce the size of the bowl, and we don't want to do that. I've got this on a worm chuck right now. She's pretty secure. I got a little bumper on the end of the tailstock because I don't want to lose any wood, particularly to the pin on that and my cup center. I'm going to try to scrape this flat and then roll it into this so I can see exactly what we're working with before I start laying out the design on this, because I don't want to lose any of this natural grain that I don't have to, and I don't want to lose any of this void that I have to, because if everything goes right the way I think it is in my noggin, probably this whole part of this bowl will be just non-existent. It'll look like it was ate away by time. So we're going to use this one. We're going to use this one. And I'm going to put my burnisher tool up here in the L pocket. So I'm going to put it there because that shit will fly out, hit that lathe, come back, pop me in the face. Put her in that pocket. And I'm going to try to scrape all this in here to where I at least get a more smoother, workable surface. This is probably about where our foot's going to be on the bowl. And then we're going to do a deep mortise with our big jaws. So Cap Morgan up here, so if stuff pops off and goes crazy, I can emergency bump the switch with my knee, drop the bird control hood. 435 and 66 likes. Come on now. Let's get the striping. I'm gonna move that. I'm gonna put a fresh edge on it. I know I'm about to top it. Yes, I know that's not the intended purpose of this tool. Do as I say, not as I do. Look at that. And I'm able to do that back cut because on the very back side of my asymmetrics, you'll notice I just got the smallest flat right there. And I use that on push cuts up the sides of them where the bowl curves aren't so drastic. And in the bottoms of insides of bowls when I'm pushing back, so I'm not just scraping one way. It makes it a little bit more efficient. What's up, Lions? How's it going, brother? Haven't seen you in a grip on here. Alright, so, yeah, alright. I'll talk to you like that. Grain's beautiful. We're starting to get a little bit more of a bowl platter shape. Now, if I cut a scallop here, I'm going to lose a lot of this. So this could either be a bigger bowl or it could be a platter. Either way, I'm tickled with it. But I am going to have to do some serious cleanup along the bottom. That void is a gigantic pain in the ass. But it's not too bad, you know? What's up, Plywood? How's it going, bro? Frosted lemonade by Rise. All right. So we're spinning fairly true. I've still got that giant divot in there, so the edge of it's never going to be right. But we don't sound like a construction site anymore, so that's a plus. think that'll probably be right about where our foot's at. Crazy thing about big bowls, you figure there'd be like a lot more stuff going on, but where the bowl's so big and it's moving at a certain speed, it really you got to move way slower. You got to move slower. Okay, so I think we've just about wore out our welcome with the flat rest there. We'll move it. I don't know if this curvature rest, we'll go back around the other side of it and let me get closer to that center pin. But, one, because I don't really use these that much, but I really need to find out. Finding out's good, okay? Would you look at that, Clark? I think that'll let us dance around the area. That kind of brings us up right towards the center pin on it, and I think that I can get a good drag without a whole bunch of wicked nasty hangover. Let me make sure that my tool rest is where she needs to be and not gonna give me some catastrophic catch. We're going to use the bowl gouge, so we're going to keep the tool rest just below center. That way we can work this angle with the left wing on this. Here in a minute, I'm going to have to ground off the secondary, or make a secondary on the bottom of this to better my angle of approach, but that's more of what we want. I'm going to bring this in and start trying to hollow out right here a little bit. Like that a lot better. They sell them on Amazon. I think this one's an older Sorby. I got this from a local guy. I comes in super handy on bigger stuff. I'll say that. On smaller stuff, not so much. What's up? Woo! Don't do that. Literally have my helmet on, I'm not wearing it. She's just about round. What's up, Dan? How's it going, brother? So, yeah, the grain's awful pretty. Now, I will say this in the utmost confidence. This backside still needs a lot to be desired. And I think once we get this kind of shored up a little bit, because this whole lip over here is kind of higher than right here. Matter of fact, this lip is too. It's going to be where it's cross grain. Once we get that kind of out of the way, we'll probably be able to back this tail or this tailstock off and get in there and make our tenon. But we can't just throw a tenon on there the way it is right now because we're not really faced up the way we should be. Alright, so that's still going to bump that. Yeah, we got a 1/4 inch difference on edges. Yep, bad news. Back this up, bring this in. Hope that the bottom of it can ride under the undercut. Make sure that's not going to hit my stock. It'll still hit my tail rest, of course, on my tail stock. Tool rest. Words are hard. Alright, yeah, so I got in one spot over here like 3/8 inch of a gap. So we're going to handle that business right now. Y'all, please hit the like, subscribe button, all that cool stuff. Check out the other channels as well. Good group of people. Other than that, let's get back into it. Birth control helmet. Figure if I can get the outside edge where I need to be, I'll shape back inwards. About time for a sharpen. Give her some love. Where she needs to be. A little wobble on the shutoff because of the missing chunk of wood. That crotch figure is absolutely beautiful. Hells yeah. Alright, come over here, give this one more good go. We're going to take that tailstock off, and we might be able to put a tenon in this thing and do what we came here to do. Maybe. You know, stuff like that. Words. Inspirational stuff. Stuff you see at the very end of like 80s football movies that makes you want to go do stuff. Alright. Bird control helmet down. Cutability's improved. Like that a lot better. I do like that a lot better. I don't like that death wobble at the end because of this missing chunk of the tree. But I am digging that. I wonder how bad she gets if I take the tailstock off. When she flies off, bust me in the grill, tears me up real bad like. Make sure she's still good on there. She is. Make sure that's good and solid. We're going to stand away from the killing point. Alright, we can do her. That wobble at the end is violent. Alright. We are going to move this out of the way. We're going to get the... ow, ow, ow. Tailstock pin out of there. Yes, I know that I totally could have took that off the chuck to do that. But I don't want to move it from its axis right now. And besides that, I go back intermittently through my stream and everything else, and I tighten up all the bolts on the bottom of my stuff Because the past few projects I've done have been wobbly as all get out. I don't know if you caught on to that or not. That's dangerous. I offer you a wood turning course. My profession is wood turner. Han or Jens, I'm not making fun of you or anything like that. Send me an email, dude. I'm always up to learn. I know it's very dangerous, but I'm being as safe as I can with what I got. And I've done way, way sketchier. But yeah, I totally like to check out your work, man. Got a course catalog or some YouTube stuff or anything like that, or a website, man? Not even being sarcastic. Is it one of those no content things? They usually are. I run courses, I just don't do them on the easiest platform there is to do it. Alright, let's do this. Levers are still good. Jens isn't going to answer. That's what I thought. Never said I was a professional, guys. Alright, so there's that super unprofessional stuff that I do. Round this off a little bit. I'm going to use my coving tool, not my coving tool, but my scraper. Gotta get the curve that I want going on in there. And then we're going to clean this up. We're going to mark our mortise. If somebody wants to email Jen and ask them if this is the appropriate way to do it, that would be great. Bet you he would have hated to see the Frankenlathe in operation. One thing I'm not super happy about is I know with the differences in textures of wood, especially the punky stuff going into the harder heartwood, I'm going to have some tear out and stuff like that. I have to do a lot of sanding, that's a definite. But this down here, I don't really like the way that is looking right now. Which, totally get that. Take this Warlock off for a minute. Plug her back into the charger here while I am doing some less risky stuff. Bet you Jan and the OSHA guy live in the same house. I'm going to take my detail spindle and I want to accent the outside of this foot. I've done a duck call once before. It wasn't that great. I've got some duck call kits coming. I'll probably will end up doing some duck calls relatively soon because, you know, we're in the sticks down here and people go duck hunting. Who's that? Lunchbox. Miss that kid. Ah! Okay, so we got that. That. Still gotta measure our tendon, so I'm not gonna get wild in there yet. Stop wobbling, damn it. We do have rings all the way around it. It's fairly concentric. It just needs sanding like nobody's business. And I'm just the guy to do that, I reckon. I don't want to hit this with like 60 or nothing like that right off the rip because I don't know how it's going to respond. Walnut is you get a lot of tear out on walnut if you act like a fool with it. Start trying to like roughhouse it, manhandle it. It don't like it. It's not really the dirty librarian you read about. It's more like the soccer mom. So. What's up, Johnny? How's it going, brother? Gotta give it some love right here. I'm not liking that, but that's where the very outside of that fat wood is. But I am liking the shape on the bottom of this. Digging that. Still need to give it some love. As we expected there. I'm going to do a couple push cuts with probably my half-inch spindle gouge, just to a little bit more detail on that line we cut and try to clean up some of this cut out right here. Where'd you be? There he is. Yeah, you still got an edge on you. Feels like it anyways. Bad that looks. Might look hideous, might look alright, I don't know. Like that a lot better. So we haven't got to cut our tenon in there yet, but I'm gonna hit the outside of this with some oil, mainly around this, because I want to put some CA around the edges, even though it doesn't necessarily need it. I want to keep that little bit of live edge, because if we do get this super thin, it's gonna roll in there and that void's gonna be exposed. So that's what we're doing, because I'm running the lathe. So I don't have my laptop out here because it's not Sunday, and I just shoot these randomly in guerrilla style throughout the week. Gotta do some sanding there for sure. Do you guys like this kind of content? Do you like the bigger bowls, or do you guys like the smaller bowls? I mean, is it just pins, or you like the off the wall, the randomness, and not really knowing what I'm gonna do every time that I pop on here? Reason I ask, really trying to grow the channel. So I mean, if you guys like a certain thing, I have no problem doing certain things. I'm not gonna kiss an animal though. I mean, I would if it's a puppy. I'll kiss my puppy. I love my dogs. One's dumb on a rock and the other one's an old soul. Hate the damn cat though. Hope that doesn't grenade while you're turning. Hope what doesn't grenade while I'm turning. Oh, this thing? Me too. I think that's part of the illusion, or the luster of me doing it. Not being a smart aleck at all, man. Sunday, I had some kind of odd wood, and I had a tenon break on me twice. Over here, take my spindle detail. That's where you're going. Yeah, it would be beneficial for it not to grenade. Just in case, we're going to give her the same approach we gave Tonka. We're going to give it the same approach we gave the one last week. Hopefully it won't break both of them. We're going to give it a inside tenon expansion mortise. So if one fails, we can swap out chucks, put it back on this one. That's the plan anyways. Do got to bust out the skew and give that some dovetail. A little bit of dovetail action on that. side dovetail as well. Maybe. That's on there like that. I'm going to round this off just a tad bit. Swap out the old batteries. I hope you're not dead. You are useless. I am liking that. Cool. Alright, so let's sand that a little bit more and then get a gander of what she's supposed to look like. Drop the grit, take her to a 220. I'm about tempted to say the hell with that, save that for the rear end of it, and then just use my woo, coughed. My gravity sander for, oh damn it, smashed my finger, for the outside of this. I think that might be a little bit better for what we're gonna do. I don't know, could be wrong, we'll find out. We might find out. I don't know. That's not my gravity sander. That's not my gravity sander. Oh. Oh, you're good, brother Dan. You're good, homie. hand sanded at this point. Alright, so y'all want to see some oil on it, see what she looks like? It's daytime. It's like 2:30, 3 o'clock my time. Alright, put some oil on it, see what kind of reveal we got. Just to see, you know? Just to see. Just gonna put feed and wax on the outside of it? No, we're not. We might be. Hold on. Yeah, we'll just put feed and wax on the outside of it. That way, if I have to, I can go back in, shape and shave and all that cool stuff. Slung that shit all over my leg. Might need to buy some more of this. Feels way heavier than it is. I defy you. I'm frugal as hell. I use every bit of the stuff in the bottle, guys. There we go. We got some on the rag now, by God. Travis Magnum. Yeah, usually I do, man. Looks great, Mike. However, you have sand. Oh, yeah, I definitely have sand hills. It's one of the reasons why I put the oil on here. Like right through here, stupid rough. Right here, I got some sanding roughs. Right over here especially, I've got some sanding roughs. It's one of the points of putting this on there. It highlights them, so I know what imperfections are in there. See right here? Still got to be handled. Right through here, definitely got to be handled. And up here along this edge, most likely, really, really badly got to be handled. But now that the rest of it's darkened, we can see exactly what we're working on. Moyoc was 100% right. It looks good. but I can do better. Check up the inside over here. Now, right down here where we had this rough patch, those are all low lighted. So I'll know that I need to focus in that area. Oh, no, no. Moyoc, I value the shit out of your opinion, brother. Moyoc is always just blatantly honest with me. If I send him something that's crap, he's going to be like, that's a piece of dog shit, fix it. But who's also the same guy who's like, that's what it needs to look like. So, inside of that, we're going to go back up through our grits. We're going to give it some love. Outside here, got a little bit up right here on this edge I need to work on. I got some right here on this edge I need to work on, so that's definitely got to happen. I'm going to use our strip sanding up here on this side so I don't have to get my hands as close to this finger removing void. But that, once you put that oil on there and you start sanding away, you'll have big differences in your heights and your low points, and you'll be able to tell what points you really need to work on. Thank you, Heidi. What's up, dude from Romania? Iron Terabus. Thank you, Rock and Roll. I want to take this more aggressive grit. Ow. I want to I'm giving the bottom a once over. I want to I want to totally get in there and get around that pronounced foot. And then you also want to look at it and make sure that your spacing around your mortise as well as your secondary is inset further than your foot, where you're going to have a wobbly bowl, wobbly platter. We're going to do the same thing we just done right around this right here. And come back over it with the sanding ribbons for the outside edge. Give it some stuff going around it, and then we'll actually hit it with some oil. I like that a lot better. A whole lot better. Hot. chopper. What's up, Eric? What's up, Knot? Sounds like a fat stripper clapping cheeks. Still got some stuff right there we need to handle. For that, we're going to bust out the old big ribbon. Big ribbon! Put tension on it lengthwise, you're still going to get the contour of the bowl, and it's going to keep it from getting caught in that natural void that we got in there. So I'm like JoJo the shoe shine boy. Tighten that down. I don't think it really needs to be, but it's pissing me off as it's rattling. Clack, 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 clack. See what she looks like now. Looks a lot better. Hit with a little bit higher grit just to take off any surface imperfections that we might have. What we got here? We're definitely not using 2000 on this shit. Holy hell. I'll be here for a week. Bumper with 800, then go up to 1000. What we just hit it with was 300. I don't know if this will get all of it out of there, but we're going to give it a shot. Y'all hear me? Techno party in here. YouTube's been funky all week, man. I'd also... Ooh, that's classy as hell right there. I like that. Wow. Holy shit. What was I saying? Yeah, YouTube's been like off the chain here as of lately. Like it does whatever the hell it wants to. If you guys were in here Sunday, I want to thank every one of y'all again. That was one of my biggest live streams in forever, and I didn't know it, but it was legit my my 2-year anniversary of being on YouTube. So in right around 2 years, we've amassed 7,000 subscribers, almost 7,500 subscribers. We're getting a couple 100,000 views. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but Sunday's live stream pulled in 250,000 views altogether. I've only been turning now for, I thought it was longer than 2 years, but I was wrong. It's right about 1.5 years. So I've kind of grew a little bit in that time, at least in size on the lathe. I mean, technique and common sense might still be at that low deficit level, but we're still growing, we're still learning. I'm gonna hit the center of this with this 800 here, see if I can clean that up, get that same type of finish on it. So if you were in the stream on Sunday, thank you very much. It meant a lot to me. Had 653 likes, 250,000 views, and I picked up 136 new subs. So I'm not complaining a bit. Okay, where'd you go? Get yourself. Wait a minute. Hold on. Danny boy's crying. Don't have a whole lot of room for that to be going under there. I've been trying to keep the outside diameter as big as I can, and we've been pretty faithful to that. That's why I use oils on my finishes right there. Sometimes you're like, I don't know why I keep buying this stuff for the shop. And then you put it on a bowl and you're like, oh shit, that's why. That's why right there. Because that does the dirty. I'll put you right there too. I'll put you on the hole. I'll put you in the hole. I don't care. I really love this cove on the bottom of this. I don't know why. Yeah, even though this wood didn't come from him, please check out Brad from Gotwood LLC, also known as turningblades.net. Use the code WHACKER. It's capital W-H-A-C-K-E-R, or capital W-H-A-C-K-E-R for your discount. Brad, the hell of a dude. He's been a long-time sponsor of the channel. Solid guy, and his timber is phenomenal. Brad's got good wood. And strong ink pens. You put the Whack and Shack in your checkout notes. They will hook you up with a free gift. I think if I get to go live this Sunday, because it's my son's football pictures and everything right about the time I usually go live. So if I go live, it's going to be a later in the day. It's not going to be at my normal time of 11, 12 o'clock unless I get super lucky. Plus, it's also the day before the first day back at school. So I got all kinds of stuff I got to handle around here. But I want to come out here and do something just to keep the momentum going and to keep my algorithm going with all the guys and gals that are watching. I think I might try to turn some crazy pins, African Blackwood, some Bloodwood, turquoise, antler, stuff like that. And maybe a bowl or something like that. Nothing hardcore, crazy like we have been doing. That party. That's real damn pretty. Sit that right there. Put the lid on here. Your American peace to upon Trump, the Mad Dog. We don't get political here, man. I don't like that shit. I don't care what your political views are, your sexual preferences, race, color, creed. You like turning wood, you found the right place. But thank you for your comment. Please like and subscribe, bro. Thank you, Not. Brother, you ain't got to do that. Hold on, let me write this down before I forget it. That's 4 entries in this weekend's raffle. My pencil's over here. Four spot by Dan's Wood turning. You're right there, man. I ain't forgetting about you. Came and dropped it like a boss. Hell yeah, Dan, I appreciate the hell of it, brother. You ain't got to do that, man. Being here and being a friend's good enough. Okay, now that is a little bit better than what we had before, and we haven't even put the beeswax on it. I do got a greasy chuck, though, and I don't like the feeling of that. That's really just messing with, like, whatever sensory problem I have. I don't like that. Nasty. So, next up, I'm going to take some of my whacking grease that I made here. Nothing more terrifying than a big man with a man bun and an apron. Other than a big man with a man bun and an apron putting on a glove with a fistful of grease. Robert from Manchester, UK, and I love machine work. I'm a joiner, but in the building industry, houses, etc., but work on machines. Welcome, man. Robert Petrie, I think that's how you pronounce it. Welcome, brother. Yes. The shoots are going live tonight at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern time, which is my time. Make sure you're there for it. They got some stuff. They got some showing off. Billy Shoot called me last night while I was laying in the bed halfway naked. And he was showing me some of the stuff he picked up. Oh, yeah, greaser up. And damn, that boy was born with a proverbial horseshoe in his ass because he gets luckier than anyone I've seen on the finds. I went to every damn estate sale and yard sale within a 50-mile radius of where I live, and I haven't found no damn paste wax, no not nothing like that. And the Amish keep on buying up all the old hand planes because they're buttholes. But apparently, if you go down to Billy Shoop's neck of the woods, there's a yard sale every other day, and they just got nothing but retired woodworkers down there that are getting out of the game. I know that looks nasty, waxy, hazy, and disgusting. But give me just a minute. I promise it'll all be worth it. This will also help treat the outside of the wood. And if you want to be a total asshole about it, it's food safe. Take my sticky glove off. I want to say thank you to whoever gifted. That was Dan, somebody, or someday, I'm sorry. Get out of the game because they can't sell them bedpans. That guy's back, son of a bitch. Fernando. He's still hung up on them bedpans, isn't he? Heidi Shoop, I'll let you do it, hon. More than likely, it's woodworkers that have passed on and their heirs don't know. Yeah, it's totally a possibility, man. Yeah, there's always... I found that out when I was restoring my older hand tools. There is always some tweaker trying to sell their grandpa's stuff that they have no idea about. And I'm the guy to buy it. Move my shirt out of the way. As much as I don't want the possibility of this wax slinging down on my board, I also don't want that shirt catching this thing at Mock Jesus and beating the brakes off me. You ever think of rubbing oil with a white Brillo pad type to get in the grain? I've got a green Brillo over here, but my Family Dollar don't have the white Brillos, and neither does my Lowe's. And I really don't want to bust out the sock on this thing with that giant void in there, but I'm going to have to, which is going to be sketchy. So if you're one of the, that's an OSHA violation, guys. You might want to hop off here for a second. What is that? Huh? What is it?
Ow!
What is that? Ha ha! You guys are the first to see it. I will say this. I've been working with some tool companies. Bust out this antique ass skewer. I'm sorry you ran into that piece of oak, honey. So I've been working with some tool companies, trying real hard, like, to get some better tools in the shop. And I'm not going to show you the address on this, but my wife just rolled up with this because my wife's a badass, and she'll roll up on me in the middle of a live stream, tell me what's up.
Covered.
It's covered. You see that right there? That's the Hunter Tool Company. They make the Hunter carbide hollowing systems, the same ones that Sprague uses. These guys are badasses. I've been in talks with this dude, and he's been a straight G about the whole ordeal. Now, he sent me these. I've got to make my handles for these, but you guys are the first ones to see these. I'm greasy from the beeswax, and it builds the anticipation. This is his hollowing tool, which would totally have came in handy whenever I was doing that gigantic live edge thing the other day. This is the Viceroy with the carbides on it. Oh my God, I can't believe they got here so fast.
I seen it and I thought, should I wait? Or...
No, you definitely done the right thing bringing this out here to me. All right, I believe he sent me smock patches too. I've definitely got to get a smock now because the homeboy hooked me with smock patches. He probably thinks that I look hideous up here, all covered in tattoos, wood tannins all over me. Sent me shop stickers. And this, whew, almost dropped that bad boy on the ground, is the stabilizer. Got to make handles for him. I got ferrule material, all that stuff like that. But I've been in the talks with him as well as some other people. There's big news coming. This is some of the stuff I was telling you about. But thank you, Mike, if you're watching this. You're straight up G. I will put these to good work, and they will be on the new wall that I'm building with some other new stuff. But he's also got more goodies in here. Hold on for just a minute. Business cards. I'll pin that up. Oh, I got 2 patches. I got legit patches for like a turning smock. That's going down. And I got some stickers. Hold on. Gotta build handles for them. Give me a minute. Thank you, Mike. Means the world to me, brother. I'll put them to good use. That's awesome. I can't believe he sent those. Okay. So, I'm going to try to cook this in with a green Scotch-Brite pad. It's not super abrasive by any means, and if it is, we'll just put more beeswax on it. Someday, been here for 2 months? Hell yeah, you have. Yeah, so I'm super excited about those. I got some ash. I'm going to make some handles for out of them. I got some copper for some ferrules. They're going to be pretty. 77 rockets in the house. Did you get to see it, buddy? Dan's wood turning. Thank you very much. My wife brought those out to me. I've never been so damn excited about a package coming in the mail because I figured it'd be a couple weeks for those showed up. Thank you, Mike from Hunter Tools. Really, dude, appreciate the hell out of it. You have no idea how much that's going to help me out in the near future. The very near future, I assure you. I don't know if my live stream could get a whole hell of a lot better. This has been a record week for me, man. Yes, you have known for a while. But you know me, I don't really, I don't put it in reality until I'm holding it in my hand, man. Okay, so this walnut slab is looking awful damn pretty. Yes, Ryan's known for grip. Let me take this thing out of here now. I'm going to give it another dry buff with a clean paper towel just to see if we got anything. I don't see if there's any crazy point in rushing through this. I don't. So, you know the walnut and everything that I told you guys that I had to go pick up? This was out of a giant crotch of walnut. And Jeff Yamanaka, local turner, hell of a dude, was talking to me way before I even got into YouTube. Calls me up, tells me that he's got to have surgery, and for me to come pick up this wood. And let's face it, I'm a slut for some wood. But I'm trying to get out of this kind of mindset that I'm in. I have been, like, anytime I see a log, a chunk of a tree, anything, it's got like a natural void in it, I've been like, man, I bet you I could make that look like an old broken plate or like an old Roman vessel that's like been through like the test of time. So low key, whenever I made the Calabash Bowl Sundae, I sent Mike, the dude from Hunter, a cool, we're concentric. I sent him a copy of the numbers and a copy of the bowl, and we were talking about the design of it, and I was like, man, Holland told sure would have been nice on that one because that one fought me. Little did I know, dude already had it in the mail. Didn't tell me nothing like that. He's just like, yep. And he complimented on the shape on it, the design, the fact that I didn't blow my face off working with the hollow. Didn't say a word. He just, yes, sir, yada, 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 yada. Thank you, Mike, for your advice. Then I come to find out that he's already got the package in the mail like a boss, and it's only like a day and a half away. Thank you, Ryan. So, Ryan, you going live tomorrow, buddy? Or anytime here in the next week? Ugh. Thank you, Dan. Yummy! I just want the spindle to stay still. There we go. Tighten that up a little bit. She just done a little spinneroo of her own, damn it. Now that I got her on a parallel surface, I can do some expenditures and stuff. Okay. I can't wait to see how the bowl turns out when it's all done. It's a working. I'm trying. Okay, cool. So we didn't go crazy out of round or anything. I've had that wobble on the slowdown for a little bit. Now the plan is I'm going to try to keep these. If I go over super far, to expose that hole, the walls on this thing are going to be like less than a 1/4 inch thick. I don't like doing that on these bigger ones, but I am going to have to alleviate some weight on the outside of this, and I'm going to go in here right where this crotch was to begin with because it's got beautiful figure there. And there's a little bit of a void. I don't care if wood glue gets all over this sumbitch because I'm cutting it out. But I don't want it to break or tear up on me. So what I'm going to do is why I've got this monstrosity here. I'm going to round off this top edge ever so slightly. I'm going to put a bead, very small bead around this to where it looks like it was actual plate, vessel, whatever, and then over time it kind of eroded away. I don't know why. That's the whole kind of Greek tragedy thing that I've been like into here lately. I like looking at building stuff that looks like it's been weathered by time, it's been beat up, but still holding true. So I'm going to put you right there. She still needs shaped up on top, which is, we're going to do that first. I want to get that squared away. That way I know exactly what kind of depth and surface I'm working with. I've got a 1/8 of an inch of indifference over here on this side. So we're going to do that. Sorry, I lied to y'all. Let's get it. I dropped everything. Oxygen. On. Big ass bowl gouge. Put a fresh gouge on it. The Hunter tool systems are carbide tipped, and they're supposed to be like phenomenal carbides. I've never really used carbides that didn't come from Amazon, so I'm like super excited to try this. Awesome termite. Okay, yeah, I'll take it. Oxygen has now been turned off. Thanks for shopping. The hot air. Is that not John or not Ken? You guys throw me off. You're like the Dans. Don't fight me, you godless heifer. Alright. Now I gotta get a turn slot. Just call both names. Be alright. Still need to leave a little bit of love on the outside rim. I wonder. A little bit of speed, right? Yeah, sure. Square scraper, get the hell off there. Pissing me off. Alright, I had to haul some of that stuff off the edge over here. It's beating me up. Alright, that should be even on the outside edge. Still fighting with that natural void in there, especially on the slowdown. Okay, so I'm going to round this off just a tad bit, and then I'll put our bead in there. And then we'll start hollowing and carving. For that, I use my spindle detail. Oh, that sounds like hammered hell. Whoa! A little bit of a coving tool there on the edge of it. Alright, so preemptively, we're going to set our depth for our walls. Right about there. Sorry. Didn't like that edge I had on there. I made it go away and put a new one on. Okay. We are going to bring this out here. These are tools right right there. Then we're going to roll this bead. That side as well as this side up here. If only there was like some kind of beading tool. That made rolling beads super easy. Whoever may know. Okay, so I've still got more to go in here. We are out around on top. Lose a little bit of height, but our rim there, it's got to be done right. So is what it is, I reckon. Make her look pretty. right, now that that is sorted out, man, look at that walnut. That is pretty. We're put some glue in those once again, and then we're gonna start hollowing. It's one of the fun things about doing like actual logs and abnormalities that grow on trees and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, you have no idea what the hell you're getting into half the time. You also don't know if this thing's gonna blow apart in your face either, which kind of makes it fun. $250 likes in here with 289 watching on a Tuesday evening stream. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I have the coolest subscribers and viewers in the business. I don't give a damn when we have 1 million subs. You guys are cool as hell to hang out with. And you ask good questions, and you don't care to roast me when I got it coming. Sit this up here for a second. I'm going to hit this vape because it's hot. I gave my mother-in-law my fan so she wouldn't die of heat exhaustion because her AC went out. This is going to be very pretty. The more and more I think about it, I think the best way to accent this natural edge over here is I want to make the walls about 3/8 thick, and then on top of the wall I want to do a bead on the outside and bead on the outside and kind of dish it out a little bit further so it'll give the illusion of a thinner wall, but it'll also accent this natural void here. Is that a bike wheel? No, it's not a bike wheel, man. So, not gonna lie, he's about half bricked up when he gets the sound off a good bead. Okay, contrast from last turn to this turn. This wood's not nearly as hard as the last wood we turned. We don't have to go nearly as deep. The wood's not in as many crazy directions as it was, so we won't have to work as hard on hollowing it and all that stuff like that. Alright, so now we're starting to get our void. You can see right here. So we're going to have to be super careful on hollowing that, but that's what we're working on. So we're going to cut this inward, scoop it. Where this is a bigger piece, all your centrifugal force is on the outside. If you've done the whole rope thing where you're swinging around with the rock on it and the weight's way out here, tension on the rope. We don't want the tension on the outside, especially with a live void over here because it'll grenade on me, as that dude said earlier. So we're going to start doing some series of hollowed cuts on this side, taking the weight off the outside rim, keeping the weight centrifugal in the middle, and then we're going to start taking down the island in the middle in a very procedural process. I know that sounds goofy as hell, I'm sorry. What's the one item that I made that I'm most proud of? Dude, I'll tell you what. It actually doesn't involve the lathe. There was a woman that was local. Funny story, the guy that I got this wood off of actually hooked her up with me. She has a small, very special needs autistic child, as she worded it. And they took her to a science museum, and she fell in love with one of these big wall-sized light brights. And she looked around, tried to find one, but they were outrageous, and as all sensory toys are. And she messaged the guy that had this stuff, and he actually messaged me back when I first started, really before I even got into the lathe work. And I built a light bright. I've got a short of it on my channel. It's literally the size of my Chevy truck bed, and this little girl loves it. She's still got it today, so that's probably one of the most rewarding projects that I've done. On the lathe, my favorite project that I've done is probably like my segmented cookie jars and stuff like that. Those are always fun to build. Fresh edge on the bull gouge. Thanks, dude. Alright, so I'm going to start cutting back in a little bit. And the reason for that is there's still a good bit of weight on the outside rim of this. And I really don't want it to cause an explosion with the this over here. So this is, the further we go, the more of this void is going to be exposed, and that's what. Good thing I didn't go live today. You don't go live on Tuesdays, do you? For Surprise Crotch. Yes, Surprise Crotch. You weren't scheduled to go live, right? If you were scheduled to go live, we'll shut this bad boy off right now and go over to Jeff's house. you're chilling today. Okay, man. I didn't want you to think that I walked on you, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Jeff from 2 Minute Tips for Woodturners. If you're not subscribed to his channel, please do so. That guy is my unofficial mentor. And it's only unofficial because he won't claim me. He keeps telling me I'm slow and I can't read right. Hell of a turner. West Coast based. I've learned a lot from him. You're calm until Mike starts flying. Back on your new med, you're calm until you things start flying. I'm trying not to make anything fly today, but we are working on another natural edge on this, so things can go awry. I'm just saying they can go awry. Okay. I'll bring this right about here. Once again, I'm trying not to use carbides unless I absolutely have to use carbides. Speaking of which, Jeff, because you just came in here, my package from Hunter Tool Systems came. They were nice enough to kind of take care of the shop here, and they sent me their stabilizer with the... Come on, Billy, work with me. Cut tool on it as well. I've got to... make some handles for these. This was the agreement that we had. Ow. And I got some ash waiting on the side for them, as well as some ferrules. Copper for ferrule. And then this is the Viceroy I was telling you about. Got to handle it. But they hooked me up with those. Super thankful about it. Would have came in crazy handy on the calabash style bowl I done the other day on Sunday. Now, Jeff, I can't make fun of you anymore because they sent me some patches. I'm going to have to get a turn smock. These are awesome. Sent me that, some stickers. I already slapped one on the front of the Grizzly here. Super thankful for those guys. And I told you guys the other day, there's big news coming for the shop. I don't want to drop it on you until I have them in my hand. Alright. We're going to keep going deeper in here and deeper until we get where we want to be. I really want to start hogging some of this off, but it's a pain in the asshole. I don't know if my square tool would be any better for this. It might be, might not be. I don't necessarily want to use carbides because I try to do as much as I can without the use of my carbides. And I don't have handles on the Hunters yet. That gave me a little bit of wiggle room in here to where I can cut. not exactly how it goes on this one, Zonnie. Okay, and the reason being, Zonnie, and I'm not being a smart aleck, I really am not. This has got a rather large chunk natural void out of it. So my outside's established. I'm trying to shave this down here and expose this. So I gotta leave this center mass in here. Don't you... No. Normally you would have a symmetrical, completely cool rim and everything like that. But if you look over here on this side, I've got this large natural void that was in the crotch of this tree. So I'm trying to save that as much as I can. So more and more of the hollow showing. That's what we want. A little more drastic of a bevel. Oh my God. You need that, Jeff. You need that just so you can send me pictures of it. You can keep all your clothes on for the photos too, man. Our void is getting a little bit bigger. We've only got about, actually, I don't know, maybe an inch at most more to go down to keep an even wall thickness and all that, and still expose that void. So that is delicate as hell right there. Holy hell. A little bit of foreshadowing. I bet you that's going to be an epic pain in the ass whenever I go to put my final design element on this rim. I'd say that'd be like super pain in the butt. You know what? We're still going to do it. The willingness to go further than anyone else logically would is what sets you aside. So, yeah, that's pretty. I got all these ideas swirling through my head. Most of them are healthy. One thing that'd be cool on a piece like this is round this off, make this lip in here, and then make a bigger bowl right here in the center. So it's actually got some function to it. You got a live edge rim, but that's kind of weird. It is the 35, 20, 36. Woo! Dude, I think that's what the turning merchant has. So this is a very, it's got so much, like the grain on this is absolutely beautiful. And we're going to bring it down a little bit, see exactly what we got. Because I'd hate to have to cut a hollow form inside of a bowl just to say that I did it. We're going to take less aggressive cuts over here on the sides. Man, that's got a lot of crazy grain in it, man. For a minute. Do some dumb stuff. By dumb stuff, we're just sanding. I just want to see what this grain on top of this looks like. It's got all kinds of crazy oranges and stuff in it, man. Like, yeah, hold on. Give you all a little preview. I mean, it's nowhere sanded to where it needs to be yet, but that's what I'm working with right there. Stay, Billy. Like, you see what I mean here? It's got that craziness to that grain right there. And I don't necessarily want to hog that out, but I don't want to make something that's impractical and no one would use either. Dilemmas. What's up, Mr. Wilson? It's another live edge. Here in a minute, I'm gonna put the light back behind us so we can get the techno disco rave party. Get some of these shavings out my way. So, I'm going to try to explain this without sounding like a total moron. Alright, the grain of the wood is running this way. So, if these bristles are the grains of the wood, they're all running this way. Every once in a while, like right up here in this bit of a swirl, the grains are kind of oriented like this. So when I'm bringing my bowl gouge across it, it's hitting them, and like, if you notice, like, see how that's peeling? Instead of just going like this through the grains and taking cuts off, I'm getting a cut like this. And it's causing a little bit of tear out because it's not super back supported by the way that the grain's oriented. So I'm trying to be a little bit careful with that, and I'm trying to keep as much of that in there as I can. But honestly, I think if I beveled this out to about here, then a slight undercut on a center bowl, and then done a bowl or a slight hollow form in the center, I think it would be pretty cool. Not 100% sure. Carve another part in the middle, make a chip dipped kind of bowl. I mean, I'm not far from it. Waiting on Jeff to weigh in as well. very painstaking cut because I can hear it actually hitting that void. Kind of makes my butthole slam shut every time, ain't gonna lie. Try to get my tool rest as close as I can without doing some dumb stuff. Yeah, so we're exposing a little bit more of the natural void over there. We're going to go a little bit deeper. Probably be about 3/8 of an inch, and that way we'll have an even thickness amongst our bowl walls and our bottom. Big step. I don't want to push all the way on that because it's going to put way too much pressure on that outside rim. Woo! My wife does the same thing. I don't think she takes notes. I think she's wrote a couple of them novels. Whew. Alright. You want to fight? I already got one. Yeah, they've already got their plan going down. And by the way, Zonnie, I wasn't being rude earlier. I was trying to explain that, and Jeff is 100% correct on that with the sharpening. This is just HSS. It's high speed steel, so I have to sharpen these a little bit more frequently, depending on the side of the wood and the density of the wood and all that stuff like that, and the cut that I'm doing. There's other tools out there on the market that are far more expensive than these and everything else that got like palladium steel, stuff like that in them that you don't have to sharpen nearly as much. Did she get my blanks done? She's got my email. Please have her send me a picture of them. Miss Francis made me some pen blanks, and I got a crazy idea for a pen project. Now I do need to come over here to this grinder, and where I'm getting in here at this angle, I'm going to take this very bottom heel off here just a little bit. That way I'll get more of a bevel on the inside cut of that. Much better. We got a little bit of love right there. That way if it rides the bevel the way I want it to, it doesn't leave no rough edge. So here's our new cut, and then here on the bottom is our new, less aggressive bevel. Secondary bevel orders essential in bowls. Yes. I'm not going to repair the big hole. I'm actually trying very hard to keep that big hole in there. That's a part of a natural void that's going to be exposed after I make the bowl. But thank you for asking. See how much of this we got exposed now. Again, it depends on the density of the wood. How long does it take to smash out a semi-perfect bowl for profit? Man, if you're just... Don't quote me on this, but first off, you're not going to make a perfect bowl. You're never going to make a perfect bowl. You're always going to try to do better if you get real serious about it. And you're honestly just going to end up chasing your own tail on that. I can usually smash out a smaller bowl, like a 6-inch bowl, in about 20 minutes. But these bigger bowls with that are all hardwoods, and all the ones I've been doing here recently have the natural inclusions. They're a little bit different. They're a little bit different. So that is going to be the bottom of our natural inclusion. If you look right here, we are about 3/8 deep from the bottom. So that gives me a... Yes, Jeff is 100% right on this. That gives me all that. We're going to stabilize that the best we can with a little bit of CA wood. It might go straight to shit at this point. I don't know. That's also going to make it easier for me to sand the inside of that with a strip of sandpaper whenever I start. And now you see why I put that oil on the outside so the CA wouldn't stick to it. Okay, so I'm going to take some ribbon sandpaper here in a few minutes and I'm going to start sanding off all of these. We want to keep the inclusion on there, but we also want to make it round. We want to make it smooth where it's not going to like feel uncomfortable in your hand. You want it to be a joy to look at, also a joy to touch. At least that's what I read. That's what we're going with. All right. Okay, so we're getting down to where we're starting to flatten off at the bottom, which is cool with me because I've been fighting with this thing for a grip. I'm going to bust out my square scraper and start shaping on the outside edges of that dome. I still don't know if we're going to do an island in the middle of that or what, but I'm digging the grain on the inside of it. It looks like we're going to be able to keep this orange regardless of what we do. So we'll have to decide on that here in a minute. Need my burnishing tool so I can catch a bead here in a minute. Hey Beadon, Miss Francis, I heard that you just finished some pin blanks. If you would, please send them to me. Send me the pictures of them so I can put them on my page and let everyone know who made them, because you're a badass with some resin. Speaking of resin, it would be awful cool if I could fill that with resin, but I'm not going to do it because I'm horrible at resin. So I'm going to start shaping in this dome on the outside of this. worked my tool rest, my banjo over into that void, that could have got stupid real quick. So what are we doing? 7 away from 400, hoping to hit that soon. I think you will, bro. Dude, I was in the 6,000 range for the better part of 8 months. And then, like, the views finally started picking back up. My videos still bomb, so. All right, guys, what are we doing here? We putting a bowl in the middle of this, or we hauling it out and making a flat bottom? You let me know. Put a bowl in the bowl. Bowl in a bowl, heard. So, because of the change of plans, I do need to update my game plan a little bit. I wasn't going to use carbides at all on this. I'm going to use my detail carbide to give this center bowl a little bit. I've got a terrific salsa. Hell yeah, man, everybody loves salsa. To undercut this a little bit. Not a whole lot, but I want to undercut it. Jeff, this is right at a 16-inch blank. How big should I make the bowl in the center, homie? Yes, definitely send me salsa recipes. I'm a growing boy. I love salsa. I love chips and other things that taste good. That is delicate as shit right there. Chips and salsa. Dude, I'm telling you right now, I got 3 kids. Those are some chips and salsa eating fools, if there ever was. The little Mexican joint, because we got a badass Mexican joint here in town. I'll glue my finger to a paper towel. Dude, they see my family coming. They're like, oh, damn! About 6 inches, holds a plastic carton. So, where'd I put my tape measure? It's over here. Okay, so the overall size on this is right at 14 3/4 after we rounded it. So, let me get my pencil. Whatever the hell I might have did with that. Why would I hold on to it, you know? It's not like I'm in a wood shop where I'd actively use a pencil. It's okay. We'll do it guerrilla style. There's my center axis. That's where we're going to put that at. Come to me, Billy. there's my center pin. We need to make everything that's not in this center ring right here go away. So let's do that now. Again. That's going to be absolutely treacherous on my fingers when I start sanding it. I know that. This is the second one of these I made. I made one a long time ago. When I first started hanging out with Jeff and everything like that, because Jeff would tell me what to do and I would do it, kind of like now. Put a Lazy Susan in there, it works great. I might do that. I got the another chunk of it. Alright, so I want to make this look like there's a legit bowl sitting in the middle of a big plate. I don't just want to do a straight walled vessel or anything like that. So this might be where the Icarus effect takes in. That's not going to hit anything important at that angle, at least it shouldn't. I'm going to start cutting on this back edge here, trying to round it off and undercut it and bringing this in. Because at the angle I had really shitty tool support. There's a knot or something right there. I'm trying to make it not an issue, but it's pretty damn persistent on being an issue. giant love mound in the middle of it. Looks like a big weird tit right now. Yeah, so these are all the things that I didn't want to lose, and I'm glad that we could actually keep them here. I'm telling you, Benjamin's best scraper, dude. I love mine. Slings the heat, boys and girls. Especially if you modify it a little bit, right there on that back corner. It does the work. Alright, so we need to cut, and here's that knot I was telling you guys about, which is a pain in the ass. It goes up in here a little bit. So, let me get my square. Pull the burr. My burr's gone off the end of it. Now I got a burr. And we'll start coming in this way, trying to narrow that down. I would like to have this right here be the outside of the rim of the bowl. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're shit. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're shit. Back to doing this nonsense again, because nothing like making your butthole pucker towards the end of a bowl, you know? Okay. Let me see where my hole is over here so I don't jam this scraper in it. Alright, don't need to go any further over than that. Alright, so we're going to go back to our carbide. We're going to put a rounded edge hollow form set in the middle of this bowl. I'll make the lid on it, or the lip on it. We might even throw a lid on there at some other time. I don't know. But, we got a game plan. Let's run with it. And I'm a glutton for punishment. Once again, not the intended use for that tool. Okay. She's going to take some sanding. She's going to take some love. But that's just about where we want that. Now we got to hollow out this centerpiece, which is going to be an epic pain in the ass. Yeah, nuke that Fernando dude. He was in here being a peckerhead earlier. Woo! Where'd you go, Billy? There you are. Shotgun. What's up, Highback? that you guys were kind of like this the last time I done it.
Yeah, you liked it the last time I done it.
Sharpie. You sons of bitches. We're going to move our tool rest just a little bit so I can swoop in there. Yeah, so the shavings are there. You got to keep in mind we're only turning at like 600 RPMs. I'm about half tempted to throw that Hunter Tools stabilizer in my collet handle over there if it'll fit, and give it a go on the inside of this, just to say that I used it today. Because it sure make the inside of this way easier. See which one is this here. That's the Viceroy. The stabilizer. I'm going to try the stabilizer, see how she plays. I don't have a handle for it yet, so this isn't like a wide open testament about how this thing's going to work, but Hunter Tools makes some of the best damn tools on the planet. This is just my El Cheapo collet handle, but we're going to try her out. Boys, I've been to the top of the mountain and it is good! Holy hell, man. Alright, that little notch right there makes getting underneath the lip of this so much damn easier. I'm not saying this just because they hooked me up with some tools and they're like kind of in with the channel now, but Hunter Tools got the carbide game on lockdown. I've played with carbides, used a lot of carbides in the past, but man, they've got this shit going on with these, dude. That is awesome. Mike Hunter, thank you so much, brother. That is amazing. Oh, dude, that, I'm telling you right now, them some bad boys right there. I haven't even got to put the Viceroy in anything yet. Holy hell, that guy, that's legit. That is legit. I don't even like carbides, but man, that's what Daddy likes right there. Damn. All right, so we are hollowed out. We've got the hollow form inside this big behemoth here. We need to do some sanding on her. We do need to do some sanding on her. Need to do some sanding all over the place. Actually, I need to clean this up back here real good, like. Man. this. I don't want to do this. Woo! Hey, baby. Huh? Tornado warning again?
Yeah. Ellie's taking coverage.
Really?
Yeah.
Ignorant. So can this one sit on the island in the kitchen, maybe?
It's my chip and salsa bowl.
That's
Did you not see my call?
No, I've been trying to read them. Dude, those hunter tools are insane.
Are they?
Yeah, it hollowed this thing out like nobody's business. Like,
You used it?
damn right, I chucked it up in my crap collet handle just to get it. Whoo, yeah, boy. Sound like a damn spaceship just went by my house. Alright. So, get this killer thread off here. Beeswax, pumice, and tunnel today. I gotta get some pumice. Matter of fact, Michael Wilson, he put me on Tripoli grit or something like that. Or Tripoli powder. Might be glutton for punishment, but everything else is done up on this. This might as well be too. There. We ain't gonna go through all the damn problems of making curves and bevels and all that nonsense and just leave a flat rim on top of the damn thing. Son of a bitch. I don't want to be this guy, but I'm not going to drag lines in that. Sorry. Just can't do it, man. Tornado salsa bowl. Before we start, don't do this. Using cosmetic drying pumice. I'm gonna have to try it, man. I haven't had a bracelet paste and a grit. Ow! It feels my tongue. My boys stole all my little sanding discs that I keep hitting. They would be super useful right now. Like, amazingly useful. Yeah, right there he is. The boy steals all these because he thinks because they're small, they're to play with. I love my boy, but he's a little asshole. That makes that very hard to sand, and it rips the discs right off there. It's a bit of a pain in the ass doing live edge, I'm not gonna lie. But I love it. I love it. What's up, Pilato? Alright, see what that looks like. I've been sanding the hell out of that for a minute now. Need to give it some love inside there and some love right there, especially. Where's my sanding pad at? There it is. Man, this is gonna hurt. I know it's gonna hurt. It's gonna burn. I'm gonna get my finger caught. The Death Goat. This is black walnut. It's the crotch out of a tree. Yeah, Pilato, it's black walnut, man. We're going to paint this down with some oil, and then we're going to sand it again with the oil on there, so if there's any kind of, which there's obviously imperfections in it, the slurry will pack those up. It's getting dark as hell, boys and girls. I'm not liking the way this is looking outside. It's yeah.
Can you wrap this?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to.
Please.
Yeah. All right, I'm throwing oil on it. We're done. Let's go, guys. The weather here is turning super shitty, and I'm going inside to make sure my family's all right. This Gotta put oil on this so it won't crack on me. Guys, I love y'all. Please like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. I'm ending the stream now. Shit's getting wild out here. It's starting to hail and everything else. So, that being said, peace. I love y'all. God bless. Check out my subs. Like and subscribe. I'm out.